Things I've learned from Tom Hiddleston and Sebastian Stan. People knew Tom Hiddleston and Sebastian Stan for their handsome faces and amazing acting from popular Marvel characters Loki and Bucky, among other things. But I also love the fact that they offer great advice. These are a few moments that I collected where I've learned meaningful stuff from them, like life advice, acting advice, random trivia, and such. So without further ado, enjoy this video.
I'll never forget this. There was a guy above me at drama school who used to say, when you have a big audition for a part that you really want, you should go out and have a crazy night, and then turn up to your audition hungover, and you'll always get the part. I tried that, and it never worked at all. I would just be like, oh, I just want to go to bed. I'm really just I'm tired. And then I kind of changed. Well, basically, I gave myself permission to care, because there are a lot of people in this world who are afraid of caring, or afraid of showing that they care because it's uncool. It's uncool to have passion. It's so much easier to lose when you've shown everyone how much you don't care if you win or lose. It's much harder to lose when you show that you care, but you'll never win unless you also stand to lose. And it was basically, I've said it before, don't be afraid of your passion. Like, just give it free rein and be honest and work hard, and it'll all turn out just fine. And sing in the trailer. That's what we do.
It was when I gave myself permission to want to do it as much as I think I always had. I think I'd always dreamt of it, but I'd never given myself the permission until that point. And then I was off to the races. I was flying. There was nothing else I was going to do.
I was from Romania. I came, and I was very lost in a lot of ways, and it was what made sense to me in terms of like finding what I had fun doing and felt like I had a sense of belonging in a way. And so, it just made sense. And I'm lucky that I had, I had a mom who was very supportive of that, and gave me that opportunity, because sometimes there's a lot of, I think there's so many creative people out there, and it's a hard battle. If you're, I see so many people that show me these unbelievable drawings and artwork that they do, and I'm always like, don't ever stop, please don't ever stop, because we have so many things in this world that kind of, want to prevent us from being creative, and you got to stay on that path, because I think it's so fulfilling in the long run. So
you're completely right. It's what keeps the culture going, like creativity.
Yeah, we need to have that sense of self-expression. I mean, it's the way I think we learn from one another.
I think it doesn't matter at what stage you're at in your creative life or in your career, but people will always have an idea of who they think you are, and often it's inaccurate or not wholly accurate, and you mustn't let them change your own sense of who you are. You have to plow your own furrow, because only you know, and only you know what you had to go through to deliver that performance in that audition, or on that stage, or in that short film or television series. And protect that with everything you have, because all those people who think they know who you are didn't do the work, and they don't know. So have that faith in yourself.
Every once in a while in your life, you have to do something that scares you. Such as doing full frontal nudity in a movie.
What made you decide to sort of choose that career and go, I really want to be an actor, this is it? Was there something that inspired you?
Yeah, trauma.
You only get one. Like, this is it. This is. Actually, I think Shekinah posted something on Twitter about a month ago, which was in French. It was a French quote, and it says, it was like, "On a tous deux vies, No, come on.
I'm trying to learn from these people because I feel like I just keep thinking like by osmosis, by surrounded with good company, you know, great things are going to come out, you know. And I think there's some truth to that. I mean, I definitely feel like you want to be with people that challenge and push you and sort of raise the bar, and I think you discover things about yourself that way. You know? No matter what it is, as long as you just kind of give yourself a push and jump into whatever that water is, then you should start to be okay.
Well, listen, I'm from London. France is 2 hours on the train, for heaven's sake. The quote is: "On a tous de vie. Le seconde commence quand on réalise qu'il y en a seulement une." Which, for those of you who understand that, is we all have two lives. Where are you? We all have two lives. The second begins when you realize you only have one. So I'm not wasting any time. And the thing is that, you know, with negativity is for my money, they are like clouds that pass across the sun, and you know, they will pass. Like, they're just feelings, you know what I mean? And it's important not to dwell on them. Just move past it. There is so much, I find, and maybe it's my nature, but there's just so much about life that's amazing. And when you kind of key into that, I don't know, it's a strange thing. I just get excited about stuff. I can't explain it.
So fun when you're starting out in high school and in camp and so on. You're doing plays, you're doing musicals. Like, you just get up there and you do it. And the trick is you can't lose that excitement. Like, as a kid, you just can't. You need that every time, like, to turn it up when you show up to a job. But at the same time, you have to, like, kind of hone it in and like have patience with it. You know, you can't just like let it diffuse quickly, I guess.
I'm always quite wary of giving advice because I think people generally like to find their own way, and all the advice I can think of is much better than any advice I could give. It's Shakespeare's "To thine own self be true." The more authentic and honest you are in your interaction with the world, both professionally and personally, the better you will be placed to do the kind of work which will touch others and move their hearts and minds. Because if you mean it, the chances are it's going to mean something to somebody else.
I always feel like the thing about criticism you got to remember is usually it's those people that are projecting something that they're experiencing in their own life, and it's actually quite sad if you think about it, but the way that they project it onto other people is in a negative way. You know, so you just have to know and decipher who is your constructive critic, you know, who's giving you something constructive that you can use, you know. There's something got to be more interesting to say than, oh, I don't like that, or this sucks, or this, that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're 100% right. And I think definitely social media, I think people are quicker to go, that's rubbish, and you know, and actually, my mum always said to me, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. I'm much more of the positive angle.
Look, you know, to each his own, you know, but you have to know yourself, and that's the bottom line. And a lot of that comes with the company you keep.
The internet's a funny thing. I mean, I love it because in a lot of ways it brings people together. It can really, you know, you can bring focus to the right sort of situations, and I love it for that. But it's also a place of extreme hate and miscommunication and, you know, lies and sort of just all this kind of negativity in a way. So, you know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm always trying to figure it out myself, but lately it's just been more kind of focusing on other things, you know. Yeah, I would say, you know, maybe see what a day is like without opening Instagram, and you'll see what I mean. you'll be a lot happier.
Golden age thinking is what they call it, which is an idea that there was a better time before now. Like, now it's kind of meh, like it was better before. People say it now, they're like, you missed the 60s, or like the 70s is where it was at. It was all about the 30s, or whatever. People are always harking back to an age in the past which they thought was better. Nonsense. The time is now. And we should celebrate that.
But he definitely has like a look to him, and that's cool, and he definitely stands out a little bit among the other like short haircuts or whatnot. But
you know what I'm talking about with the Japanese anime haircut with the hair in the face.
It's true. I mean, they're so specific, and that's, by the way, that's why like Thor has long hair, and that's why a lot of comic book movies. I think it was The Crow they did that, but that's not a comic book. But and I finally asked somebody about it, and they told me, they were like, dude, it's just so much easier when you're drawing comic books to give the characters long hair, because they just look epic. They're like in the middle of a fight scene, the hair is like all over the place, and like you can tell, when they're flying or when they're falling or when they're, so that's kind of like the reason why a lot of these characters have long hair. I mean, I'm just happy I lucked out with it.